But again, it's your call. There may be somebody in there that you're aware of that you would like to include, so it has to be your call. But we give you our best shot, and so we'll come, and after we paper screen, we'll do some intense reference checks, call a variety of people, call some of our 36 members who know these applicants, and then bring to you the week of the 21st of September 5, 6, 7 candidates that we recommend you interview. And that will be our first closed session with the board. It's permitted under the Brown Act, and it's really, the confidentiality is extremely important at that time. You'll get a number of applicants, but there will only be one person you'll select. And part of our ability to be able to attract good people is we have a reputation for being very confidential, and we feel that that's important. So that would be a closed session, and out of that closed session, you will select those you want to interview, and then we would schedule an interview tentatively again for a Saturday in September, the 21st. No, that's not true. The week of the 21st, we would be coming to you with our recommendations, and you would select those to be interviewed. On Saturday, October 3rd, to have a first round of interviews. On that following Monday, to have a final interview with either one candidate or several candidates. And then later on in that week to do the homeschool visitation. And then, as we explained when we met with the committee of the board, we'll work with the district, with you as a board, we'll work with your candidate, and in a cooperative way, develop a mutually agreeable contract. And then the person would start as soon as they could be released from wherever their present position is. So that's the process. Floor is open.
So can I push the calendar one more time now? The search time.
Yes.
You have 6 weeks for that.
Yes.
5?
Or
or is there something about 6 that you find that that's really the minimum, or is there or putting this out for 5 weeks would be sufficient?
Frankly, we do 6 weeks because we do 6 weeks. We've modified that. Sometimes we made it a little longer, sometimes a little shorter. So that's kind of arbitrary. So that could be shortened by a week. Part of the thinking is probably because you're already advertising now, that could be a little shorter. And but part of our sensitivity is during the summer, some people may not get their information until later. We want to be sure that people don't miss the opportunity. But it probably could be shorter.
I'm also sort of sensitive to something you taught us, which is that you'll get some amount of response because of ads. You get a lot of additional response because of you reaching out, the recruiting aspect of it.
Correct.
So I want to make sure that there's enough time for that, which only goes in this window. So I don't know that we save as much as they had, but having it placed or not. But if you think that 5 could be done, that your recruiting cycle could be done in 5, then
of course. Think about the fact that when you first read a job brochure or whatever, you tend to think about it for a while. You go, maybe that, unless you immediately just go, I'm looking and this is it. Sometimes it takes time to percolate, and I would hate to sort of tighten it so much that people couldn't percolate the thought that they want to. What's one more week really? Right. At this point, we're already pushed out kind of a little bit past what we'd expected anyway.
Obviously, that's my goal, is to bring it back into where we expected it. That's the only
but to pull it back is we're talking about based on these numbers, a month of pulling back. We'd have to pull back 4 weeks somewhere. Yeah. So if we got a week there, we'd need 3 more weeks.
No, I was hoping that we'd wrap this up on 10/1.
I thought we were originally talking September 1.
Oh, you're right, we were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, we were.
I also have some, I would also like to see it shortened. I realize that, I'm just putting this out there, but I know that people would like to weigh in, and I'd like to present them with that opportunity. But also, I look at the beginning of the school year, and I'm weighing it against the importance of having somebody on board and helping make the decisions for the next school year as soon as possible. So when I weigh those two things, I think that, you know, making a real concerted effort in a shorter amount of time and then having that feedback is great, but also trying to shorten the time that we will be without a superintendent would be one of my desires.
You know, I can see being anxious that we want a new person in place, but I don't think we really want to shortchange the process. I mean, we've hired the Cosca Group based upon their expertise of how best to run a search. And I think the 6-week minimum, you know, our school starts early, other schools start in September. I mean, there's a lot of different windows of opportunity that they will need to have when they do their outreach. So, I mean, I understand why we're in a hurry, but I hope by hurrying up, we don't get the benefit of best candidates coming forward. So,
I agree, that's why I sort of prefaced all this with, you know, can this be done, is this okay with your process? So if we said, no, we really needed that 6 weeks, it's really minimum, that's okay with me. If 5 weeks is doable, then I would just, you know, suggest we come back and look at whether a calendar get to be short is good. But you're right, you want to get full value.
The time of the year that you're doing this,